Welcome to Kletus Ray's Roadside Service. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not going home though. I'm headed over with the tanker. We've been cleaning vac boxes at the shop all day. They're like 3,000 gallon little like dumpsters that you can load on a roll off truck, and they had E-coat, which is like I don't know, some sort of paint shit. And somebody cleaned a bunch of E-tank or E-coat tanks or whatever, and they had a lot of sludge in them. And then that sludge, settled to the bottom. And then, we got to clean it out. We suck out all the liquid, and then we got to shovel the other shit out. And tell you what, I'm not a big shoveler. If you're new to the channel, I don't like to shovel. I don't know if anybody likes to shovel, but I'm not. I don't. I refuse to shovel sometimes. I get to that point where I'm just like, I'm super reclusive. I don't mind watching 8 people shovel. Okay, I'm not shoveling. Just kidding. I will. I had to today. I had to shovel. But anyways, we thought we only had 2 boxes because there were 2 inside of a building, and because they needed to thaw out because they were frozen. And we got them cleaned up, and then we go down to the office. We're all just kind of chit chat and everything. It's like noon, and then they're like, "Did you get all 3 done?" I was like, "There's only 2, bud." And he's like, "Nope, there's 3. There's another one up on the hill. You got to take care." I'm like, "Son of a bitch." So we ended up getting everything picked up and then take it back out. Go up on the hill, not a big deal, whatever. Need them hours, is what I keep telling myself. And got that one clean. That one was by far the worst one of the day. I mean, we had a way worse one the other day, a couple days ago or whatever it was. But that one was not good. It was like probably 2.5 inches of sludge buildup throughout the whole bottom of that thing. So I had to shovel it out, and then this stuff is weird because you shovel it and it breaks into pieces, and you're like, okay, it's solids, and then but if you let it sit somewhere for too long, it turns back into a liquid, and it's a pain. Like you shovel it, you break everything loose off the ground, and then you let it sit for too long, and it's stuck to the bottom again. I don't know. There's something weird about this shit, but we got it cleaned up. We had a couple of little problems, but nothing too crazy. It was just more, you know, tedious shit. And then everybody else is going home, which is fine. I got to go over to this place, and it's a big place, and they have a lot of people working there. And I'm driving a tanker. I got to go in there because they decided to put the frac tank inside the parking lot. And when they did that, sorry, I gotta merge here. Yeah, thank you. Um, when they put the frac tank in there, everybody was off of work, so the parking lot was big, empty. And they're a 24-hour deal. They got shifts. So I'm trying to get there. It's 3 o'clock now. I think they do a shift change right around 3. So maybe I'll get lucky and I'll get in there and I won't have to. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing quite yet. I got time. I can figure it out. And the longer it takes, the more I get paid. And they already brought it up to me. They're like, it's going to be a pain in the ass to get that tanker in there whenever you're by yourself and the parking lot's full. I'm like, well, let's just see about that. This fucking Chevy about I saw you. I looked in my passenger mirror and I see him. He is in my lane. He is handicapped. I don't know what kind of handicap he's got, but maybe he got crooked. He's cross-eyed or something. Maybe he's coming into my lane. He about ran right up into my trailer. What's going on? Yeah. So I deleted a bunch of podcasts, and none of the small ones, none of the people that are actually, kind of important, you know, just like bigger podcasts. I got rid of a bunch of subscriptions, kind of clear out my feed. And then Theo Vaughn has on Dave Smith, and Theo Vaughn is one of those bigger podcasts that I do want to keep listening to because I like him a lot. He has Dave Smith on, and they get into all kinds of shit. I'm like, oh God, here we go. I thought I was gonna get away from the news here, and I can't not listen. So, listen to that, and then Joe Rogan had on what the fuck's his name? The fucking super duper conspiracy theorist guy. So I was like, I gotta listen to that one. And they were both good, but they both do depress you a little bit at the end. Not at the end, just like after listening to it, you're like, okay, we got mass corruption everywhere all the time. And you know what I've been doing every day when I leave work, and it's been kind of nice out. Nice enough to roll the windows down and drive with the radio up. I've been playing War. You know, every day when I leave work, I just play War. It's a great song, and it's also like a statement, and I don't know, because you got people saying war is good, war is bad. War's bad. It's all bad. War is not good. And not it's not even a war. I don't know what the fuck they're saying. Like, oh, we just captured Venezuela. We're just taking all their shit. It's not war. We're just taking their stuff. They're happy about it. Look. And I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I'm sure you could find people happy in Venezuela and people unhappy in Venezuela. And it just depends on which way you want to spin it to where, which one, starting to not trust anything. Can't trust anything these days. Mm-mm. You know what I can trust is mango habanero salsa. That's fucking delicious. My work, they had a taco day the other day because we're doing a bunch of confined space training and bringing a bunch of shit in there and whatnot. Anyways, a lot of people are at the shop all day long, so they're buying lunch for everybody. It's kind of like a free lunch day or something. And they bought tacos one day, and that's not for me. I don't get. I mean, I could go in there and reheat some tacos, but uh, man, it really, it's like, man, I should be an office person. They get a free lunch every day this week. That's crazy. But I found a tub of that salsa in there. Holy shit! I just ate that whole tub of salsa. Probably not healthy, but probably way healthier than anything else I would have ate. So I'm gonna count that as a win. Um, Mango habanero salsa. And it's like Sam's Choice or something. It's from Sam's Club, I believe. Super fucking good, man. It's got like mangoes in it, and I think well, obviously it's got mangoes and it's got habaneros and it's salsa and it's good. It's super fucking good. I loved it. Um, but yeah, I got the confined space training tomorrow, which really bugs me a little bit because they have me cleaning the tanks and then now I got to go get loaded and I'm loading it for somebody else. Somebody else is going to dump this fucking thing off tomorrow. And it's looking like the rest of my foreseeable future It's going to be one day at the shop cleaning, another day heading down to Tulsa. So it's going to be like, I think I might get 3 loads down to Tulsa a week, and then with 2 days of cleaning in between. And so Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to just be shitty, and then every other day is going to be a nice little drive down. But I don't know. I don't know what to exactly expect. I'm like, you know what? You're going to pay me a hotel bill. You're going to pay me a hotel bill. You're going to pay me per diem. I'm going to come. I'm just going to, just run that. Run down to Tulsa, offload, run back here, grab a load, stay at a hotel, maybe stay at home. I don't know. Depends on where I'm at. But I think it would be wise to, instead of just having me, 50% working, getting them good hours, just let me work the whole time, and leave me alone. Just let me get my loads and get down there and then get back, get more loads. But no, I was telling some of the guys a story. Well, I told them my threesome story. You guys have heard the time I had a threesome with a monkey. I was telling them a different story. Oh, wait, you haven't heard that one? Oh gosh, has it been a while since I told the threesome story? All right, well, I guess I could talk about it a little bit. Might be a good title for a podcast here. I'll start off with that one, and then maybe we'll have time for the next one. So, yeah, I did. Well, hold on. Well, let me just start it up because it sounds fake. It sounds like I'm just trying to be funny here. Sounds like, all right, whatever, dude. No, no, man, hold on. Let me just tell you about my story here. So I had my girlfriend. I had lost my virginity to this woman, and we fucked a lot. We fucked all the time. So, anyways, but I also hung out with my buddies all the time too. We were all friends, and then we would go out and do the stuff. But my buddy was like, "Hey, I'm watching a house. I'm house sitting, so I have to go check on this house and feed the animals." Well, he didn't even say that. He just, but I imagine that's what he had to go do. He's like, "I'm house sitting. I got to go to this house." And we all were like, "Yeah, let's go." And me and my girlfriend, we pull up separately me and my girlfriend driving in my truck. And we pull up, and then I don't know. She was just probably whispering something to me. Maybe I was whispering something to her, and we got it on. I was gonna say like Donkey Kong, but that's just too close to home. Whenever the story progresses, okay. We're getting it on in the truck. We are just banging it out in the passenger seat of my '96 Chevy Silverado, dark green, and one of my Florida boy. He was there. Florida boy, Tyler. He was there. And he comes over and he knocks on my window. And I was like, well, he knows what we're doing, so it must be important. So I had crank windows. So I cranked the window down. I'm like, "What's up, man?" And he tosses in a fucking spider monkey. A spider monkey lunges from his clutches into my truck, running all around the cab. I'm like, "Oh God, what the hell's going on?" And yeah, my girlfriend was also a little freaked out, but they got it under control. They got this fucking spider monkey under control, got it out of the truck. But that's where, was it a threesome? If you're if you're inserted into somebody else, such as a woman, and something else touches you, or does that just is that a threesome? Are they included? Nobody fucked the monkey, and the monkey didn't fuck nobody else. So I don't know. I don't know what that was, but I like to say I had a threesome with the monkey once. And then so that's you're like, well, why? How did the hell did he get a monkey? So me and her, we finished up or cleaned up or whatever the fuck we did. We got put back together, and we get out of the truck, and we go into this little building that's like in the parking lot, or not parking lot, just the driveway. This is a house, but like a mansion house type thing. And we go inside, and there are, I mean, it's white floor, white walls. Uh, it's like kind of like a veterinarian is what it looks like. And around the corner, they had, and now I don't know if it was one or two. I didn't get a good look. They had a chimpanzee in there. A damn chimpanzee was in a cage in this building, and they were taunting this thing. And this thing was getting angry, and he was on the cage. He was rocking it back and forth, and I freaked the fuck. I was like, we got to get out of here. We got out of there. But that's when, because he had already explained everything to everybody else except for me and my girlfriend, because we were, busy in the driveway doing it. Uh, he happens to be watching an exotic animal farm. So it's a wild. I don't know. We didn't really walk around and explore, but he was telling us about all the different animals they got there. They got hyenas. They got piranhas. They got damn giraffes. Maybe not giraffes. Maybe just like emus or whatever the fuck they are. But they're like the giraffe of the bird world. Uh, there's all kinds of animals in this fucking place. So, anyways, I've had a threesome with a monkey. Have you? Have you ever had anything like that happen to you? That's one of my two threesomes I've had. The second one, we're gonna go ahead and we'll save that maybe. And if you guys really want to hear it, maybe leave it in the comment section. I'll tell you about my other threesome. You guys, I wasn't big and fat back then, so just don't think of it as a big fat guy. But it was interesting. I could tell you about it. I don't mind it. It's just an autobiography here, right here is what I'm talking about. Anyways, the other story that I was telling them uh, was the time. So I was headed home from my mom's house one day, and she lives not maybe 20. She used to live 20 minutes from my house or so. And there's this long stretch of road that's real wavy. It's you go up a hill and you can see really far all the way down the road, and then you go down the hill, and then you come up the hill and you can see really far. And it's just like, I don't know, four or five of those hills. And I came up one hill and I see a truck way up ahead. There's nobody else out on the road. It's just one truck way up ahead. And I come down the hill and I come up the hill, and then I see the truck hitting its brake lights. And then I go down the hill. And then I come up the hill and I see, and I didn't know it was a truck at the time. I just saw taillights. Come up the hill and I see flashers on. And I go down the hill and I come up the hill and I see a man, and this is the end of the hills really, but I'm coming, getting closer and closer. I can tell the truck is stopped, and by my perception, I can tell the truck is stopped in the fast lane, whatever you want to call it, of this small-ish kind of highway. It's a highway, but it's not a highway. The speed limit's like 45 through the whole thing, and it's 4 lanes wide, and it's got like a divider in the middle, or like a little patch of grass or whatever. And I'm getting closer and closer to it, and I see somebody walking in the road. And I get a little bit closer, and I notice it's a man, and he's walking like he had to have backtracked from his truck, and then he had obtained something, and he was on his way back to his truck. And as I get closer and closer, I see it's a big fat man, uh, and he's carrying something that looks like a woman, that could be not alive. And I was like, my heart starts racing, as we're getting closer and closer. I'm like, oh, fuck, what the hell? I was like, God damn, did he hit her? Like, was she walking in the road or something and he hit her? Oh my gosh. So I'm getting closer and closer, and I roll up to him and I roll my window down, and I asked the dumbest fucking thing, because he is holding a lifeless body. He's a big fat man, out of breath, walking in the middle of the road, holding a lifeless woman's body. Burnett. Uh, that wasn't her name. That was the color of her hair. Don't know her name. Never found out. Uh, and I roll up and I ask the dumbest fucking thing. Is she okay? And he just kind of looks at me and he's like, I don't think so. I'm like, oh God. And so I'm like, all right, hold on, let me pull over. So I pull up and I get in front of his truck. It was like a 2002 GMC Yukon XL, you know, dark gray, just from memory, I believe that's what it was. And I pull up, and I was in my Chevy Cruze at the time, and I pull out my phone and I call 911, and they're like, "Hi, what's your emergency? Whatever." And this is a weird road because there's like a small section of it that goes through it goes through one town, and then it becomes a different town, and then it's another town, and they're just like edges of territory or whatever. So they're trying to figure out where I'm at, and they're like, well, what city are you in? I'm like, I don't know. I'm right here. I'm like on the edge of that city, maybe in this city, and on the edge of that other city, and then there's another city that kind of butts up over here. We're at the four corners. Okay, I don't know where I'm at. But we were able to figure it out. And she's like, okay, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. Hold on. So I get out of the car and I'm walking over to the front of this guy's truck, and he's walking up, because he was a big fat guy, and we were still, probably 30, 40 yards away from his truck by, whenever I was talking to him in the road. And he walks up and he just drops her, probably out of he was so worn out, maybe. I don't know. But he drops her on the other side of the truck. I can't see. I'm standing at the hood or the driver's side, hood area of the truck, and he walks up to the passenger side fender and just drops her. And I'm like, is she alive? He's like, I don't know. I hope so. I'm like, oh God. And the operator's still there, and operators, you know what? You're annoying as fuck. I know I'm asking the questions here. Okay? I don't need you fucking telling me what to ask. Okay? I'm working on it. Okay? So relax with all the questions. Like, I can't listen to you and talk to him and listen to him and then talk to you. I can't be doing all that. You just be a fly on the wall for a little bit. Okay? Okay? Just be a little fly on the wall for a little bit while I figure this thing out. So I'm like, what happened? And he said, she jumped. I'm like, she jumped from what? There's no bridges anywhere. And he's like, no, she was yelling at me to stop the truck, and I wouldn't stop, and she's my girlfriend, and she was just mad at me, and she opened the door and jumped out. I was like, oh God, how fast were you going? He's like, probably like 50. I'm like, goodness. And then the operator, she's like, is she breathing? I'm like, is she breathing? He's like, I don't know. And he's just over there like worn the fuck out. So I start to walk over there, and this bitch just jumps up out of nowhere. She was like a jack in the box. She just popped up. She's like, ow, my fucking head. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, hey, sit down. Come on, let's get out of the road. Let's go sit down. And he's trying to open up the door and trying to get her to go in the truck. He's like, all right, get in the truck. And she's like, no, where's my cigarettes? And he's like, they're in the truck. And the operator's like, don't let them leave. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. I was like, guys, don't leave, don't go anywhere. And the operator told me, she's like, all right, just can you get the keys from him? Can you get the keys from him? So I go around to the driver's side, and I mean, we're building up a traffic blockage. There's nobody else really out here, but 6 cars maybe, roll up during this, and they all got the same questions, and it's like we're figuring it out, okay? Just observe. Jesus, like I don't really have time to sit here and explain every little detail, every single one of you motherfuckers, okay? Hop out and help. And we had eventually I did go and I was kind of like directing traffic, but I was really trying to get this chick to sit down. She would not sit down. She's just running around. And she's like bleeding from her head. I'm like, oh my God, this is not good at all. And this is not going to be good. I mean, what I'm actually doing in real life right now is not going to be good. I gotta figure out how to get my tractor trailer up in this fucking parking lot full of cars with like no room. And I got a lot of people leaving right now. I gotta get to that frac tank. This is not gonna be good. All right, well, it looks like there's a couple of cars that aren't blocking the whole thing. I might be able to get in there. Yeah, I can get in there. All right, this will work. Sorry to leave you on the edge of suspense there. Here we go. This is gonna work. There's so many cars that are not here. This is awesome. This is perfect. Perfect. So I don't know. The police eventually showed up. They showed up on the wrong side of the road, which is fine. And I was like, hey, I was first on scene here. I have the guy's keys right here, and I don't know, like I can leave you a statement, or I don't know how these things work. But this bitch is just going off the fucking rails. She is just freaking the fuck out, trying to smoke a bunch of cigarettes. She keeps like dozing in and out of consciousness. I'm like, I don't know. But the police were there, and then the fire department showed up, and I just, luckily my car was ahead of everything, and I was able to just get the fuck out of there. But then I get home because I was headed home. My wife and kids were there. I was like, I don't remember why I was where I was, but it was just like, what the hell is going on here? And I had to explain it to her. I was like, babe, you will not believe what the fuck just happened. She's like, oh yeah, I bet. I'm like, no, like you don't even know. And I don't think she believed me. But that was a weird fucking time, right? Weird fucking time. Anyways, I'm gonna pause this, and then we'll be back a little bit later. I gotta get loaded here. And we're back, just like that. Loaded up, good to go. This parking lot is filling up fast though, so I'm glad I'm out of here. Well, yeah, we're a little heavy. We're a little on the heavy side, but it's gonna be okay. We're probably right at, because every time I've been loading this truck, I've been little off. But so I added a little bit more to this one, and according to my calculations, I was going to add even more to it, but I decided not to. I said that's getting pretty full. We'll go ahead and call it good there. I gotta wait for all these fucking cars to get out of the way. Yeah, you are in the way. You are in the way. Don't let anybody else get in the way. There we go. And I believe we are good. Shouldn't have any problems from here on out. Got my paperwork, got the hoses. I had to string up a bunch of fucking hoses to reach it. Look at that! That's a DR650! Somebody rides a DR650 that works here. Holy shit. That's badass. Bad to the bone ass. A lot of these people are probably looking at me like I'm a dumbass because you're not supposed to have a tractor trailer up in here. But, and I'm going over the speed limit. They say 15. It says here 15. I'm doing 19. Man, they are just whipping those motherfuckers around. Whip it around, bud. Are you coming over here too? Hurry your stupid little Mitsubishi ass up. These fuckers are fucking wild. Don't pass me on the curve, dipshit. I gotta take it wide or I'm gonna take out the guardrail. Dude, this place is wild as hell. Anyways, back to the story. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know whatever happened to that woman. Don't know if she's alive or if she's dead. All right, we are rolling. All right, just gotta take a lane change here. All right, we're good. We made it out of this fucking hellhole. Jeez, I think I came at a really good time though. Right at shift change. Yeah, tomorrow is gonna be a good one. Not really. I mean, it's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna get lunch fed to me, so that accounts for like a half hour, of overtime or of regular time or something. I don't know. Uh, but tomorrow, yeah, so the confined space deal. Now I'll probably tell you more about it in more detail later on, but it's just a refresher class. We've already been trained quite a bit, but we have a lot of new guys, so they called them out and they're like, "Yep, let's do a refresher and let's do the main one on these other guys." And they have a trailer set up to where it's got tubes and stuff that simulate a confined space, and you send a guy down in there. You got to climb ladders. You got to go down and around and over things, and then you got to have lifelines and winches and tripods and harnesses, and then you simulate somebody that has passed out down in the bottom of this, and you got to try to figure out. You got to be able to think and get this motherfucker out of there on a skiff, and yep, I was rescued once. That was interesting. They're like, all right, you go lay down in there. And so I get down in there and I put one leg up, one leg down. I'm crisscross, twisted up and everything. And they're all like, come on, take it seriously, dude. I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You guys are there's no rush. There's no real danger here. I'm going to lay in a really weird fucking way and I'm gonna use no muscles, okay? And you guys gotta, and I think capture or picking up a heavier guy is way more important than trying to figure out how to pick up a light guy because the heavy guy is gonna be a pain in the ass. You might as well do it in training. So you got to send a few guys down there and I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to drool a little bit. I'm going to spit. I'm going to have a little bit of, I'm going to pee my pants. I might fart, just to help simulate a real world event. You don't know what's going to happen. You might get poop on you. I know this is training, but you might get poop on you. At least here, you have somewhere you can go wash it off. So, anyways, they were like, "Come on, take it seriously, man." And I'm like, "Dude, this is the easiest way to find out if you guys can actually do this shit. If you make the training so easy that whenever a complex situation arises, that some big fat guy is all fucking mangled up down in a fucking hole, you're gonna remember back to this, and you're gonna say, wow, I'm so glad he decided to be all mangled up so we knew how to do it. Oh, remember when big fat Kletus was down in the hole all twisted up? Yeah, twist his arm backwards, break it out of socket, get the sawzall, let's cut his feet off, it'll help out. Because I'm already dead, but don't do that in the training. I need my feet for real. You can't be chopping them off. You got a little bit more time. But, yeah, pretty interesting stuff. And then we go through a bunch of other shit too. But I'm looking forward to the free lunch. That's what I'm looking forward to. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this. This is going to be a nice little episode for you. I told you a couple of stories and talked about me and my day and whatnot. Oh, we had karate last night. It went well. I guess karate. So my son, we had a tournament. We went to a tournament. They had a tournament. That's awesome. And then we had a class afterwards, or like the next week or whatever. And we went to my son won 4 out of the 6 events. He got first place. So, and he got a trophy and everything. So he's the only one out of his group that got a trophy. So he's super duper excited about it. And so the next event, they said, oh, okay, you guys can bring your trophies and show them off to the class or whatever. Well, they switched venues because I guess it was right around Christmas time. So we went to this basketball gymnasium where these fucking idiot nerd teenagers are over there playing fucking basketball. They keep looking over at us like, are you guys going to be done soon? It's like, hey, shut the fuck up, you stupid fuckhead. Why don't you go out and smoke some weed, get drunk, knock up a girl, do some stuff, steal a car, do something, you dumbass teenager. I fucking can't stand them. And I was like, no, yeah, we're going to be here the whole class. I mean, it's a fucking karate class, okay, bucko? He wanted to open up the whole court, is what he was asking. But fuck him, fuck that guy. He can handle it. He'll be all right. So, come on, don't get on the highway so fucking slow. That's ridiculous. What, you're making me slow down on the highway so you can get on the highway, and you're in an Escalade. Okay, that thing's way faster than this. I'm fully loaded, bitch. Yep, and then everybody slams on their brakes because some people want to go to the airport and they don't know how to take an off ramp. So they just clog up the whole fucking interstate right here. If you're in that lane, you have to go to the airport. Get out of the way. And then they had testing. So they had the tournament, they had a class, then they had testing. And testing, parents aren't allowed in there. You don't get to know if they moved up belts or not. You don't get to know what their test scores are or anything. But I just, based on my son's ability there, he did pretty fucking good. We don't know. He could have moved up to a blue belt. If not, there's a green belt with a white stripe. That's for the kids that didn't do so good. I'm guessing, couldn't do the basics or whatever. Green belt with a black stripe, and that's for the kids that know what they're doing, but they just didn't. They you can tell they still need some work. And then there's blue belt, uh, and blue belt moves up into a new class. There's a whole new class, and it's at same people, same everything, but it's at a different time. And so, anyways, he tested a while ago, and then he had another class today, or not today, yesterday, last night. I got home in time. I was able to take him to karate, and my daughter, she wanted to go, and I go up and I talk to the wife of the guy running the place, and I'm like, hey, just real curious. Well, first off, if they tested and had the tournament, why the fuck are we even in class? Why are they still in class under the same old belt? I feel like the next class, this class, they should be getting their belts and moving on to new stuff. They already tested. Why are we still doing stuff? But whatever. I didn't bring that up. I just went to the lady and I said, "Hey, I'd like to know, like, because nobody gets to know what their test scores are until the next class or the next event or whatever." And I was like, "Well, I'd like to secure a spot. We do like coming to karate. We really do, and we'd like to continue to keep coming to karate, but." I don't know. Am I signing him up for the green belt class again? Because, maybe he didn't move up to blue belt? Or are we moving up to blue belt? And I got to sign him up for the other class. And I don't want to miss a spot, because the classes, they will fill up quick, and they are doing their damnedest to try to get kids involved and whatnot, right? So they're trying to fill their class, and I don't know. I'm like, are you reserving a spot for them in the next class if they do move up? Because yeah, we don't plan on quitting. And I talked to another parent there, felt like a fucking housewife or whatever. And I'm like, what do you think? And I asked her, she's like, that's a good question. I'm like, yeah, right. I mean, it only makes sense. It's like, unless there's a limit on the class, but I don't know if there is a limit. I think there's a deadline to sign up by, but I don't know if there's a limit to the class because this class size is gigantic compared to the other ones. But that also means maybe they thought it was a little bit less manageable. Maybe they're like, all right, we're gonna cap it, and they're making good money off this. They're making decent money. They get paid every week from, I don't know, 20. Just in my son's class, there's 20 kids. They're not all green belt, by the way. They're, white belt to green belt. But, yeah, we don't know. It's going to be exciting. Because once he moves up to blue belt, that's when he can start breaking boards. And he has been begging. He's like, I want to break a board in class. I'm like, I don't know when that is. No idea. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say he's number one in their class, but he's number one in their class. Okay, he's the best one. Oh, and I don't want to say anything bad about the other kids. That's where I'm not competitive. That's another problem I have is I'm not competitive for anything. Like I'm not, and I feel, and I'm not trying to shine that off on my son or nothing. I want him to be involved with sports and whatnot, but it's hard to, because I'm a dad and I got kids, obviously, and I don't want other parents, to make their kids, if I'm super cheering my son and saying he's the best, you all suck, that's kind of mean to the other kids. But no, what I wanted to say was all the green belts where my son is there. I think there's 5 of them, and They are by far the most well-behaved of them all. And I'm talking about even the blue belts. Because we got some of the kids that are blue belt, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're family. They're involved with the family somehow because it's a big family that runs this dojo or whatever. And I'm like, these kids, they don't know what they're doing. My son probably knows more than them. How in the hell are they red belt? You know, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't want him to just immediately get a black belt and think he's hot shit. I want him to work his way up the ranks, but um, I think he could do good with a blue belt. I think if he got the blue belt, he's gonna be just fine. If he got the green belt with the black stripe, that's perfectly fine too. You know, there are some things that we should be trying to get him to repeat and learn at home. That because you only go once a week, and with the way the school schedules are these days, fuck, they're never in school. They're like always getting days off. I don't understand what the hell's going on. But yeah, and right around the holidays, they got winter break, Christmas break, whatever it's called. And I'm sure there's going to be some snow days, but you can't tell because it's 70 degrees out on January 6th or 7th, something like that. But anyways, that's just a little bit of the not drama, just things going on in my life. Oh, another thing. So on YouTube, I pay for YouTube. I talk about money struggles and stuff. But listen, I'm paying for the YouTube. I can't do those fucking ads every fucking 30 seconds. I can't do a 2-minute ad every 30 seconds. It's ridiculous how many ads are on YouTube. Every time somebody wants to show me a YouTube video and they're like, "Oh, hold on, wait for the ad to go." I'm like, "Goodness, I can't deal with this." I pay for YouTube. I never get ads. Not sponsored by YouTube, but we are accepting sponsors. So, YouTube, if you want to sponsor me, hey, pay for YouTube. It's really worth it. And on YouTube, there are video games. All right, what are we doing here? I'm gonna go for it. You can go right behind me, big dog, big daddy dog. I got. What the fuck was that? This Dodge almost ran into me. Different Dodge than the one before. Um. Anyways, there's games on there, and I've been playing a lot of. Well, not a lot, but last night I did sit down and I played a bunch of. They're just like cell phone games, but I'm playing them on my computer. I got YouTube on my computer, and there's no ads. That's fucking. It's so much of a relief because my son, he'll download a bunch of games on my phone. We're trying to get away from that and playing on my phone, but like half the games, you can't do anything without an ad popping up, and some of those games are now on YouTube, and now I don't know if it's different for the people that don't pay for YouTube, but there's a fuckload of games on there, and I like that whole.io game. It's so much fun. So I was sitting in the kitchen on my laptop last night, just fucking holing it up, holing it up. And I don't know if I'm playing against real people. I have no idea. If I am, they suck really bad because I am just dominating these fucking idiots. I mean, I'm not competitive, but I guess I am a little bit there. I'm like, I haven't lost one round. I don't understand. I'm like, I haven't lost anything. It's just kind of relaxing to sit there and play the game. But I would like a little bit of competition, make it a little bit harder on me. But I'm just over there swallowing everybody up. Swallow them up. These fucking fuckhead idiots. Jesus. This guy is getting on the highway and he wanted to jump over 3 lanes, but I'm coming over already. And he about went right up under my trailer. What is going on? I think it's 2026. These people need to learn how to drive, okay? I think it's going to be the worst year of car accidents. I just have a feeling like there's going to be more car accidents this year than ever before. And especially with like the safety and all the shit that we got nowadays, it's just going to be bad. You know what we need to do? We need to get a state trooper to just donate a car to sit on the side of the highway everywhere. You know, doesn't even have to have a real guy in it. We've had those before. I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of that happening before? A precinct, if you will just set a car with a dummy in it and cameras all over it and just set it. And it's a police car. And I guess they had one get really vandalized. And they were like, what the hell? No vandalizing our, you know, surveillance car. Obviously I would never do it, but it is kind of funny. It's like, well, don't leave your fucking police car out in a bad neighborhood and put cameras all over, because people, all they gotta do is cover their fucking faces. And then they can go beat the shit out of your car. There's nobody there. Anyways, I'm done with this episode. Adios. Keep all 18 down. We'll talk to you later.